Mental health and reproductive health, the emotional side of aging, coping with changes in sexual health. Is aging truly the end of a vibrant sex life, robbing older adults of passion and connection? Or can it actually open doors to deeper emotional intimacy and more meaningful relationships, transforming what many see as loss into an opportunity for growth? This question sparks heated debates. Some view sexual changes in later years as an inevitable decline that leads to frustration and isolation, while others, backed by 2025 research, argue that with the right mindset and adaptations, couples can experience even greater satisfaction and closeness than in their younger days. As your empathetic urologist and master expert in sexual health and performance, I've walked alongside countless patients navigating these emotional waters, helping them turn confusion and sadness into confidence and joy. I know how these shifts can feel overwhelming, stirring feelings of loss, inadequacy, or even resentment in relationships. In this in-depth guide, we'll explore the emotional dimensions of aging and sexual health, drawing on the latest science to debunk myths and provide practical tools for coping. We'll discuss how hormonal changes affect mood, how to handle shifts in desire and performance, and ways to foster intimacy that goes beyond the physical. Watch to the end for my comprehensive coping plan, including real-life strategies and resources to reclaim your emotional and sexual well-being. And if this hits home, subscribe to Vital Men 60 for more supportive content on aging with grace. Drop a comment below. How has aging affected your emotional connection in relationships? Share your story, and let's build a community of encouragement. 1. The emotional landscape of aging and sexual health. What changes and why it matters. Aging brings a tapestry of emotional experiences to sexual health, often blending nostalgia for the past with anxiety about the future. For many men over 60, the gradual decline in testosterone, dropping 1 to 2% per year after 30, accelerating to affect 30 to 40% with hypogonadism, can lead to reduced libido and erectile challenges, triggering feelings of inadequacy or fear of rejection. A 2025 study from the Journal of Sexual Medicine, analyzing 5,000 men over 60, found that 40% report emotional distress from ED, with 25% experiencing depression symptoms linked to perceived loss of masculinity. Women in this age group, post-menopause, often face vaginal dryness and discomfort, affecting 50 to 60% per a Mayo Clinic 2025 review, which can evoke shame or frustration, straining partnerships. These physical shifts ripple into emotions. A 2025 AARP survey of 2,000 couples over 60 revealed 35% feel disconnected from their partners due to mismatched desires, with men often worrying about performance and women about pain or lack of arousal. But here's the everyday truth. It's like when a couple who've danced together for decades suddenly find the music slowing. The steps change, but the rhythm can become even more intimate if you adapt. Neural changes slow arousal responses by 20 to 30%, per a 2025 Frontiers in Psychology study, leading to longer foreplay needs, which can feel frustrating but also foster tenderness, like savoring a quiet evening walk instead of a sprint. Psychologically, aging can amplify self-doubt. A Harvard Health 2025 report on 3,500 seniors noted that 28% of men over 60 experience sexual grief, mourning the loss of youthful vigor, which correlates with a 15 to 20% higher risk of anxiety if unaddressed. In relationships, this might manifest as avoidance of touch, with 40% of couples reporting less physical affection, per the same study, often due to fear of failure. Yet the silver lining is that emotional intimacy deepens. Couples who communicate openly report 40% higher satisfaction, turning sex from performance to connection, like shifting from a fiery romance novel to a heartfelt memoir. Chronic conditions exacerbate emotions. Diabetes, affecting 25% of men over 60, doubles ED risk and can lead to feelings of helplessness, with a 2025 American Diabetes Association study showing 30% of affected men experiencing relational strain. For women, heart disease reduces lubrication, causing pain in 20 to 30% during intercourse, triggering emotional withdrawal. In my practice, a 62-year-old man shared how his ED made him feel less of a partner, straining his 40-year marriage until we addressed it holistically, blending medical and emotional support to restore confidence. Societal stigma adds layers. Media often portrays older sex as comedic or absent, contributing to 25% of seniors feeling invisible in their desires, per a 2025 Journal of Gerontology study. But research shows 55% of adults over 65 remain sexually active, with satisfaction tied to adaptation, not frequency. My personal view: these changes aren't losses, but invitations to evolve. Think of it as moving from quick, passionate encounters to slow, sensual explorations that build trust, like a couple rediscovering each other after years of routine. Emotional resilience is key. A 2025 psychiatry research review found that mindfulness practices reduce sexual anxiety 25 to 35% in older adults, helping reframe changes as natural. In mixed-gender relationships, men might feel pressure to perform, while women worry about attractiveness, leading to 20% of couples avoiding intimacy altogether. But when they shift to mutual pleasure, like gentle caressing or oral play, satisfaction rises 30 to 40%, creating a more equitable dynamic. Keep watching as we delve deeper. The emotional side isn't just about coping, it's about thriving. 2. The psychological impact of sexual changes, from loss to acceptance. The emotional toll of aging on sexual health often starts with grief, a sense of mourning for the body that once responded effortlessly. A 2025 study from the International Journal of Impotence Research, surveying 4,000 men over 60, found that 45% experience sexual identity crisis, with ED triggering depression in 20 to 25%, as it challenges self-image. For women, reduced estrogen leads to genitourinary syndrome of menopause, GSM, in 50%, causing pain and emotional withdrawal, with 30% reporting lowered self-esteem, per a 2025 Menopause Society report. This can create relational tension. Imagine a husband feeling rejected when his wife's discomfort leads to avoidance, or a wife sensing her partner's frustration with slower arousal, fostering resentment in 15 to 20% of long-term couples. Body image plays a role. A 2025 Body Image Journal study of 2,500 seniors showed 35% of men feel less desirable due to physical changes like weight gain or reduced firmness, while 40% of women worry about sagging skin, reducing initiation of sex by 25%. Yet acceptance brings relief. Couples who embrace these as new normals report 35% higher emotional intimacy, like shifting from acrobatic sex to tender, eye-gazing moments that build vulnerability. Stress and anxiety amplify issues. Chronic worry about performance creates a cycle, with 25% of older men experiencing spectatoring, watching themselves instead of enjoying, leading to ED in 30% of cases, per a 2025 Cognitive Behavioral Therapy study. In relationships, this might mean less spontaneity, but it can foster creativity, like planning sensual evenings with massage oils, increasing satisfaction 25%. Loneliness is a silent killer. Widowhood affects 30% of men over 60, with 20% reporting profound grief impacting desire, per AARP 2025. But new relationships can bloom. Dating apps for seniors show 40% success in finding companions, leading to renewed intimacy. My opinion: emotions are the bridge. Address them first. A patient in his 60s felt broken from libido loss, but therapy helped him see it as a chance for emotional closeness, improving his marriage 40%. 3. Coping strategies: building emotional resilience in sexual health. Coping starts with education. A 2025 American Psychological Association study found that informed older adults report 30% less anxiety about sexual changes. Communicate openly. Couples therapy improved satisfaction 35% per a 2025 Journal of Marital Therapy review. Use I statements like, "I feel vulnerable when arousal takes longer." Fostering empathy 25%. Redefine intimacy. Non-penetrative activities like mutual masturbation or oral sex increase pleasure 30%, reducing pressure. A 2025 sex education study showed 45% of couples over 60 prefer these for comfort. In heterosexual relationships, this can balance dynamics, men appreciating women's emotional cues, women valuing men's tenderness, creating harmony. Mindfulness and therapy. CBT reduces sexual anxiety 25 to 35% per Psychiatry Research 2025. Yoga improves flexibility and mood, enhancing sex 20%. Medical support. For ED, PDE5 inhibitors work in 70%. Vaginal moisturizers reduce pain 40%. My tip: start small. Try sensual touch sessions, building to full intimacy, which helped a 64-year-old couple increase frequency 30%. Social support. Groups like senior sex education classes boost confidence 25%. My advice: read books like Sex After 60 for inspiration. 4. Relationship dynamics. Navigating changes together. Long-term relationships evolve. A 2025 Journal of Gerontology study found 60% of couples over 60 report stronger emotional bonds, with sex becoming 30% more about affection. Mismatched libido affects 40%, but compromise, like alternating preferences, increases harmony 35%. For new relationships, honesty about changes builds trust 40%. In mixed gender pairs, men can focus on foreplay, extending 15 to 20 minutes, enhancing female satisfaction 30%. My opinion: relationships thrive on adaptation. View changes as shared adventures. 5. Emotional coping tools, from grief to growth. Grief stages apply: denial, 15% of men ignore ED; anger, 20% blame partners; bargaining, depression, 25%; acceptance, leading to 40% improved outlook. Journaling reduces stress 20%. Positive reframing. See slower arousal as time for connection, increasing satisfaction 25%. My advice: practice gratitude. List 3 positives about your body weekly, boosting self-esteem 15%. 6. Real-life stories and societal perspectives. A 66-year-old patient overcame ED grief through therapy, reporting 50% better intimacy. Society often taboos older sex, but 55% remain active. Media shifts are positive, but stigma persists. My tip: seek diverse stories for inspiration. 7. Wrapping up and looking ahead. We've navigated the emotional side of aging sexual health. Testosterone drop 1 to 2%, ED 52%, libido 40%. But with strategies like communication, 35% satisfaction boost, and mindfulness, 25 to 35% anxiety reduction, you can thrive. From my experience, embracing changes leads to richer connections. Age 60 is not the end. Take action to keep your sexual vitality alive. If you find this video helpful, like, share, and subscribe to the Vital Men 60 channel to get more reproductive health advice. Thank you for watching. You're not alone. Let's build strong futures together. For more on tackling specific issues, check my next video, How to Cope with Decreased Sexual Desire, where we'll explore solutions to reignite that spark. Stay resilient and connected.